Hey, what it do, sports world, and welcome to the Real Untouchable Podcast with me, Ray Diggs. I got a great segment for you all. I want to talk about where will Russell Wilson end up if the Broncos cut ties with the young quarterback. Well, with the veteran quarterback. Okay, so let's talk about this thing right here. Hey, before I get started, hey, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. Okay, and make sure you got any feedback, make sure you all give me your feedback in the comment section. All right. So before I get started, man, okay, I was having a debate, argument, or whatever you all want to talk, whatever you all want to call it. Yesterday with a guy on Instagram. I commented on my Instagram. He was basically coming back talking about the podcast. Maybe talking about, hey, your podcast only get this how many views and whatever. Let me just tell you all something. First of all, I don't do this right here for views. I do this right here because I love to talk about sports. And if you listen to any of the top podcasters, or that most of them, first of all, a lot of them pay for their views. Another thing that they do is this. They've been doing this right here for a long time, and that is their number one job. That is all they do. I can't say that because I'm actually in the military. So I got a job to do every single day, which is go out there and protect some of y'all, some of y'all ungrateful people. I'm not going to say ungrateful people. I would say some of you, people out there, that's what I do for a living. So that's my number one job. This right here is my number two. And I don't get nothing off of this. I just love to talk about sports. That's it. Okay. But listen, let's go ahead and jump into this thing. Okay. Russell Wilson is set to be released from the Denver Broncos. I hated the matchup. I knew that it was a bad matchup when I saw Russell Wilson with Sean Payton. I said this right here is a terrible thing for Russell Wilson because I know what type of person Sean Payton is. I just feel like Sean Payton, I'm not going to say that the man is racist. I would just say that, he loves what he likes. He likes what he likes, okay? And I don't think Russell Wilson fits into what he likes, okay? That's what I'm saying when I talk about Russell Wilson and Sean Payton's relationship. I knew that this right here was a bad thing for Russell Wilson. Because like he said, I was watching him the other day talk, and he said that the Broncos came to him and they wanted to bench him if he didn't take a pay cut. Okay, so when that's pretty much telling you everything you need to know about this relationship between Sean Payton and Russell Wilson. But I'm going to give you all why I think that these four teams can be the best landing spot for Russell Wilson when the Denver Broncos cut ties. It's not if, it's when the Denver Broncos cut ties with the veteran quarterback. Okay, so I'm going to start off at number 4. The number 4, I know some of y'all going to be like, why? But I'll tell you all why. The number 4 team on my list is the Dallas Cowboys. Now, y'all know I hate the Dallas Cowboys, but I'm going to tell y'all why I think this right here can probably work for Russell Wilson. Because let's look at this thing, okay? First of all, he's cheaper. He's more cheaper than Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott wants $60 million a year, so he's cheaper. Number 2 is he have everything around him. He have the offensive line. He have the running game. He have the wide receivers, the tight end. He pretty much have everything at his disposal for the Dallas Cowboys. And honestly, he can throw. Russell Wilson can scramble a little bit. So why not stick him in there and, see what happens? Because honestly, and he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Hear me out now. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback because he's won a Super Bowl. He's made it to 2 Super Bowls. So this right here, why I say this right here is my number 4 team, what the best landing spot for Russell Wilson is the Dallas Cowboys. Because like I said, let's just say that Russell Wilson said, I'll take $30 million a year or $35 million a year. You still have for what Dak Prescott is asking for, which is $60 million. So why not throw him in there and let him be your starting quarterback? You never know what might happen. Honestly, I think Russell Wilson can do the exact same thing that Dak Prescott is doing. That's just my opinion, okay? So number 4 is the Dallas Cowboys. At number 3 is my New England Patriots. Why? Because Russell Wilson with Gerard Mayo can be a match made in heaven, okay? I think that that Robert Kraft would allow Gerard Mayo to go out and get his groceries. He's going to allow him to go out there and get the players that he needs to put around this offense. And that is exactly what the Patriots need. They already had a pretty good defense. It's been the offense for the last couple of years that hadn't been performing. So if you can get Russell Wilson, stick him in there, maybe even with the number 3 overall pick, if you can get Russell Wilson before the draft, okay, you can go out there and you can get a big wide receiver, maybe like a Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 3. That means you don't have to draft a quarterback, okay? Or you can just draft the quarterback and then, you know what I'm saying, have him to play behind Russell Wilson. Let him learn from Russell Wilson maybe a season or two. So that's why I say the New England Patriots is the number 3 team on the top 4 for the best landing spot for Russell Wilson. Now I'm going to go down to my number 2. Okay, these are my top 2 teams. Drum rolls, please. At number 2 is the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons is a really, really good place for Russell Wilson, and I'm going to explain to y'all why. They have weapons. They have Drake London. They have Cal Pitts. They have Bijan Robinson. They have the weapons around him where he can get the ball. So if you got these type of weapons, and honestly, they got better weapons than the Denver Broncos had. You know, they got a tight end. They got wide receiver. They got a running back. So they got all of this stuff right here. So Russell Wilson, you know, he can bring in a few more playmakers. And then what this right here could be the perfect match. And what was the Atlanta Falcons missing this year? They was missing a quarterback because you want Desmond Ridder just wasn't it. And that's why I say this is the best. This is the number 2 of the best landing spots for Russell Wilson is the Atlanta Falcons because of the 3-headed monster of Cal Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson. And if you can set you a veteran quarterback like a Russell Wilson in there, I think this right here can work. That's just my opinion. And number 1. Now this is a match made in heaven. The Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the best landing spot for Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, Mike Tomlin. That is a match made in football heaven. And the reason why I say that is because he needs a coach that's going to have his back, unlike that guy in Denver. He needs a coach that's going to support him when he's having a bad game, unlike the guy in Denver, okay? And he's not going to embarrass Russell Wilson. I just don't think that Mike Tomlin will embarrass his quarterback because he's never done it. And guess what? When you put him with the Pittsburgh Steelers already have an offensive line. They got a really good running back in Najee Harris, and they got Warren as the backup. So you got a power runner and a receiving back. You got George Pickens and the rest of those receivers. You got everything you need. You got the tight ends. The Pittsburgh Steelers have everything they need. The only thing that they was missing this season was a consistent quarterback. And I don't think that the Pittsburgh Steelers will ask Russell Wilson to do a lot. I don't think they will ask him to save the franchise. I just think Russell Wilson, the only thing that Russell Wilson needs to do in Pittsburgh is don't make the critical play. Don't make the mistakes. Don't make the critical mistakes. Okay? And that's the one thing that Kenny Pickett did. Mitchell Trubisky did. And that's the one thing that ruined this team. Think about the Pittsburgh Steelers. Even with the injury to TJ Watt, this team right here still almost won a playoff game. So that just tells you how good this team is. This is a really good team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's why I say you put Russell Wilson in this environment with Mike Tomlin, you know, as the coach, with these weapons of Najee Harris and George Pickens and the rest of those guys. I think this right here is the perfect place for him. This is the perfect place. And I think that honestly, they can get at least a good 4 or 5 years out of Russell Wilson because he is still kind of young. He's only like 34, 35. So he's still kind of a young quarterback, you know, for a quarterback at least. 35 is young for a quarterback. So if you can get him now, you still have about at least a max of 3-4 years of this guy as your starting quarterback. And that gives you a time to draft another quarterback and probably have groom him like Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers, you know, did with their backups quarterbacks, okay? So that is the reason why I feel that this is the best landing spot for Russell Wilson. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Where's the best place for Russell Wilson to end up when the Denver Broncos cut ties with him? I just think that the Pittsburgh Steelers is the best place. I think that the Atlanta Falcons is the second best. You can bash me and say whatever you want to say, but the Atlanta Falcons, the one thing that they're missing is a quarterback, and a capable quarterback. And Russell Wilson is still good. It's still a good quarterback. Think about it. The Broncos just had a terrible offensive line. I feel like he was running for his life every game, every second of every game. Okay. And then, like I said, the number 3 is the New England Patriots. Whether you want to bring him in and groom the quarterback that you're going to draft, whether it's Drake May or whether it's Jaden Daniels, you can bring him in, allow him to be there, and allow them to learn behind Russell Wilson for maybe a year or two. And then, like I said, and you never know what's going to happen. I think that if Gerard Mayo get the type of players that Russell Wilson needs around him with a Hunter Henry and Kendrick Bourne and the rest of those guys, I honestly feel like this New England Patriots team can be a playoff team, at least a playoff team with Russell Wilson at the quarterback position. If they can shore up that offensive line, I think that he can be a really, really good quarterback for the New England Patriots. That's why they're number 3. And number 4, like I said, the Dallas Cowboys. If they decide not to pay Dak Prescott, why not go out there and get a $35 million quarterback, a $40 million quarterback? It's still $20 million less than what you would have to pay for Dak Prescott. And honestly, like I said, I just feel like Russ Wilson can do the same thing that Dak Prescott can do. Okay? And he have a better resume than Dak Prescott. So why not go out there and get a quarterback like a Russell Wilson, put him in there, he can run, he can throw, and you give him CeeDee Lamb, you give him Gallup, you give him the tight end, you give him the running back. If you can go out there and get a running back like Derrick Henry or somebody like Jacob to go along, with Russell Wilson. And also, like I said, with the offensive line, they got a pretty good offensive line. Even though they lost Tyron Smith, they still have a really good offensive line. So this is why this right is the 4th best landing spot for Russell Wilson. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this Russell Wilson situation. Why what are the best landing spot for him? These are mine. You can give me yours, and then we can just talk about it. We can debate this. And like I said, I'm not always right, but I just think that I'm right on this, and that's why I say it. All right, hey, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button. Okay, and if you all got any feedback, make sure y'all just give me your feedback on what you all think about this segment. Until next time, y'all, peace and have a great Sunday, y'all. Peace.